Thank you, Acting Deputy President. I rise to give my budget reply because the allocated time has been scrapped as this Labor government is too busy trying to gag debate and ram 8 bills through a guillotine motion this evening. So much for transparency, so much for democracy. We're living through a cost of living crisis, a climate emergency, a housing disaster, and a world on the brink of deeper conflict. And what does Treasurer Jim Chalmers hand us? A pre-election pamphlet dressed up as a budget. Let's be clear, this was not a budget of vision. It was a budget of fear. Fear of upsetting vested interests. Fear of telling the truth. Fear of spooking voters with the scale of the challenge we face. Instead of delivering structural reform, we got Band-Aids. Instead of building a future, we got a bribe. $5 a week tax cuts. That's not relief. That's an insult. And don't forget that $5 is across the board, including to those who need it the least, like the wealthy and people in this chamber. Because this government is too scared to truly rebalance the scales for the needy. And who misses out entirely in this budget? Full-time students working part-time, the young people hustling to get by, drowning in HECS debt and rising rents. Nothing for them. I spent years in Young Labor and one term as Young Labor president. I've ran the meetings, moved and seconded motions for national platform, prepared for state and national conferences, and heard the demands from young members to push for real, brave reform. Want to know what they want from their Labor Party? What I wanted? They want action on negative gearing. They want the capital gains tax discount gone. They want franking credits reined in. They want real action, real climate action, not gas expansion. They want big corporations taxed properly. They want AUKUS scrapped. They want a sovereign wealth fund to safeguard our future. They want a gas reservation policy that puts Australians first. They want welfare payments that are raised to livable standards. They want offshore detention to end. They want a foreign policy that's truly independent, not just a rubber stamp for Washington. And all the Labor senators in this chamber know this to be true. These are bold, progressive, common-sense reforms. And would you believe it? Every single one of them is what Australia's voice is fighting for. It's so obvious that Labor can't even deliver what's already in their own party platform, let alone take bold steps needed to meet this moment. They talk big on fairness, then cave to donors. They talk big on security, then sell our sovereignty to AUKUS. They talk big on care, then leave people on poverty payments. This is a budget with no backbone, no direction, and no long-term plan. And to my former Young Labor crew out there, you know this isn't good enough. You know this isn't the bold, progressive Labor of the old. Don't be scared to tell them. Jim Chalmers had a once-in-a-generation opportunity.
Senator Payman, you need to use the correct
The
title.
Treasurer had a once-in-a-generation opportunity, a $400 billion revenue windfall, a chance to rewrite the future. We could have built hundreds of thousands of social public homes. We could have raised job seeker and youth allowance. We could have gone all in on climate transition and energy independence. We could have closed the gap. Instead, we're left with pre-election pamphlet and a pat on the head. Australians are crying out for leadership, not more spin, not more scared of their own shadow politics. Labor's budget might not spook voters, but it sure as hell shouldn't inspire them either. The truth is, we can't keep sleepwalking into a future where governments are too afraid to lead. If this is the best Labor can offer, then it's time for a new voice, a bold voice, Australia's voice. Thank you.